G'day, battlers, and today we're going to be going over Team's Catacomb Cup win using the team, the tier on screen. So before we do get into it, we're actually going to be shoutcasting another Catacomb Cup tournament in the next 2 days with a completely different team. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to make sure you don't miss that too. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. So Team participated in the Raid 44 live Catacomb Cup, and I'll link to that Discord in the description below. And in Team's words, they weren't really able to find any spice for this cup, so they kind of ended up with a fairly meta line, except for that Victory Bell. So Victory Bell kind of acts as a harder grass counter in this cup, because grass is seriously important, and by having Victory Bell, it kind of toughens up some of those matches that Venusaur is a little bit weak on. So I think Venusaur is the primo pick in the cup for grass type. There's a couple jump ups as well, but I think Venusaur is the number one. Victory Bell just kind of shores up some of those matchups, like the Lapras matchup, for example. So on top of that, Team is running double ice with Frostlass and Lapras. So Lapras is super bulky, Frostlass is super attacky, so he's kind of got the pick of his ice types against any team. Obviously, Frostlass is a little bit weak to big picks, dark types like Umbreon, and actually Swirlix is weak to ice, so like Umbreon, I should say. And then Lapras is also a little bit more weaker to those grass types, so Venusaur can get the win up on Lapras, whereas Frostlass and Venusaur are a bit of a different story, because that's kind of a 500 PvP poke ranking. Like, it's going to be a tie between those two, so it could go either way, especially with the state of the game at the moment. But yeah, I'm sure we're going to see tons of both of those Pokemon showing up, both Frostlass and Lapras, as well as the last three in the team, Sudowoodo, Vespiquen, and Umbreon. And that just kind of completes the balanced team, basically. Sudowoodo can basically hit everything in the entire cup hard if it lands a move. Vespiquen, it needs that grass coverage as well as the dark coverage that it gets as well. And it's also got Power Gem. If you land a Power Gem on something on Lapras, that's definitely nice. And then Umbreon, just the bulk master in the cup. I do have an Umbreon deep dive that you can check out after this, but to summarize, basically Umbreon is a really good safe switch in this cup, so it doesn't lose very hard to anything, and especially when you get a little bit of energy advantage, you can flip a lot of matchups. So yeah, let's get into round one. So round one, up against Glockaroo with Lapras, Jumpluff, Vespiquen, Venusaur, Sudowoodo, and Alolan Graveler. So the first thing I'm kind of noticing is that there's double grass here, and the team has double ice, so that's a bit unfortunate for Glockaroo there. Although both of his grass types are going to be beating Team's Victory Bell, so I'm not really expecting to see Victory Bell. Oh, actually, Glockaroo does have Lapras, Sudowoodo, and Alolan Graveler, so maybe I should just close my mouth and see what team decided to bring in. So let's get into it. So going with Victory Bell, Frostlass, and Lapras, so bring the double ice straight away with that Victory Bell to catch the other stuff that it needs to, and does catch the Alolan Graveler. So expecting a switch out pretty quick here, and Team's ready on that switch menu. Looks like they are staying in though, so they're probably going straight for the Rock Blast here, just trying to do some damage onto the Victory Bell. I don't think they want to get switch locked, I guess, so they're just going to let Alolan, oh no, switching out into Lapras. That is actually not a good matchup for Lapras at all. Because Victory Bell's lost a little bit of health, Lapras is probably going to be able to take out this matchup, but it's going to lose a lot of health in the process. Actually, is Victory Bell going to be able to take it out? No, Lapras hanging on with a sliver of HP, so Victory Bell basically took out two entire Pokemon. So I guess that shows the power of Victory Bell. And I guess the opponent doesn't have much to counter Victory Bell, but brought in the Lapras. No matter what charge move Lapras is going to throw, Team's Lapras was going to survive it, even if it was a Skull Bash. And then probably going to see Alolan Graveler, maybe. Yeah, no, here comes Venusaur. So Venusaur would have been a better counter for that Victory Bell, but I guess there's a little bit of a downside because you don't want to get that Venusaur switch lock. Like, you kind of maybe they saw that they really needed that Venusaur for later and wanted to keep it around, but had to bring it in for the Lapras anyway. And then Frostlass in the back. It's kind of GG's at this point. There's not much that Glockaroo can do. Bring in that Alolan Graveler, maybe trying to catch the Avalanche there, but unfortunately Team was not going for it, and now it goes to the Avalanche. We'll see if Glockaroo does decide to shield. There's no chance they can win, so they might have just let it go down anyway, but yeah, gonna go for this. Actually, gonna get hit by a Frenzy Plant. This will do a fair chunk of damage on that Frostlass, does take it out, and then Lapras is going to have to come in and finish the job. So that was actually closer than I thought it was going to be. I definitely counted it out a little bit too quick there. But going into game 2, bringing the exact same team, and Glockaroo has countered, bringing in Jumpluff in the lead this time. So instant switch on Team side into the Frostlass. So Frostlass obviously looking pretty nice up against that Jumpluff. The opponent catching the Avalanche onto the Sudowoodo. This isn't the best catch for Sudowoodo. It does do a chunk of damage, taking out half of its health, but yeah, definitely a good catch nonetheless. You wouldn't want the Avalanche to hit the Jumpluff, so getting another Avalanche before a Rock Slide comes through from the Sudowoodo, that's pretty huge for Team. Getting a shield off that Sudowoodo, because otherwise it would have taken it out, and then going to shield up the Rock Slide, I guess hoping to get to another Avalanche before the Rock Slide comes up. Yeah, going to get to the Avalanche, okay. I think I was a little bit I guess I forgot it was a switch in, but anyway, we'll see if a shield comes up. She's really shielding up that Pseudo Widow, so I guess wants to get rid of this Frost Lass as soon as possible. Maybe has Jump Off and actually probably wouldn't bring the double grass type after that double ice in the lead unless they thought they weren't going to bring it this time. And Team going for the farm down, which I definitely would not have been game enough to do, but they're an expert, they know what's up, they knew that they could farm that all the way down, going straight for the Avalanche. Unfortunately, it is Lapras coming in, so Avalanche not going to do much at all. Definitely would have been beneficial to go for that, go for the Shadow Ball. Going to get a Shadow Ball off though, so I guess maybe the opponent's trying to farm up a little bit of energy, but this Shadow Ball definitely going to hurt. Tons of damage, and then switching to the Victory Bell, trying to take out the Lapras before a charge move comes through. Does get one off here, probably a Surf. Yeah, just a Surf, so it's not going to do too much to Victory Bell. And then in comes the Jump Off, so Team has no shield, so there's no choice about whether it wants to keep it around or not. But Aerial Ace definitely going to do a ton of damage to that Victory Bell. Doesn't get to a Leaf Blade, not that it really was going to do much anyway. Bring in the Lapras for the first time in this battle. Going to get hit by an Energy Ball, which will do a fair chunk of damage, but should still be around to get a Surf off. Not that it's going to do too much. Most of Lapras's damage here is coming off the quick moves, so we'll kind of see if it can take down the Jump Off before another charge move comes through. Not quite, so this probably will take out the Lapras, and then Frostlass going to have to come in and get one quick... Oh, going for the Aerial Ace, so wasn't going to quite get to the Energy Ball, I suppose, and leaves Lapras with a sliver of health, and getting to this Surf, which will finish off that Lapras. That was actually really close, because I think that opposing Lapras did have energy. But yeah, taking out round 1, going into game 3 of round 1 though, and Lapras versus Vespiquen. So we really don't want to get hit by a Power Gem here from that Vespiquen, but Ice Shard is doing a ton of damage. So that was really quick, so I think that was just an X-Scissor. Just trying to get a little bit of damage off. Yeah, just an X-Scissor. And then switching out into opposing Lapras. So this is probably a good opportunity for that Victory Bell to come in and just slaughter that Lapras. This time Victory Bell hasn't lost health like it did in that first game up against the Graveler. So you're going to be able to burn a shield here and then should be able to Razor Leaf all the way down before another Surf comes through. Oh no, another Surf coming through. Never mind, I am clearly off on my energy counting. But that Surf not going to do too much to Victory Bell. Another Razor Leaf and simultaneous KOs. That's a little bit unfortunate for Team because they did have to invest a shield. But I guess... we're re-rolling the leads now, and it is that Umbreon up against Vespiquen, which is not a good matchup for Team. So looks like it was going straight for the foul play, but going to get hit by an X-Scissor first, which Umbreon is going to survive. It's going to survive multiple X-Scissors, but it's super effective. It's really going to add up over time, and Vespiquen gets to them really quickly. So landing the foul play, so the opponent keeping those two shields, switching into Lapras, maybe trying to catch the X-Scissor, or just trying to get this Surf off to put some pressure onto Glockroo. Gets a shield, and then switching out into Venusaur. So this is not great for Team here, especially not having Ice Beam. It doesn't really have a big nuke of a move, so it's just going to go for Surf. Going to be able to get a second one off. Oh, not quite. The Frenzy Plant coming through first. So shielding the Frenzy Plant so that he can get this Surf off. I guess really trying to just preserve... the charge move didn't go through. Almost able to farm down that Venusaur, knowing that he would have been able to get some more quick moves off before a charge move came through. And the opponent does let the Surf take it down. And in comes Vespiquen, unfortunately not able to get the Surf off in time. So this X-Scissor actually... Oh, it's only an X-Scissor, so it's not going to actually take it out. The Surf will definitely chunk away at that Vespiquen. Probably going to take it out at this point. Oh, there was still a shield in play, never mind. In comes the Venusaur, and this foul play, going to get hit by an X-Scissor, but it's not going to take out Umbreon, and then the foul play, going to go through and take out the Vespiquen, and that will be GG's on round 1. And down gets Vespiquen, so GG's there, and on to round 2. So up against Nutty925 in round 2, we've got Venusaur, Zweilous, Umbreon, Vespiquen, Lapras, and Frostlass. So also going the double ice, and then actually also going double dark. So no rock types at all, just double dark and double ice. So double dark is similar-ish to the double grass before, in the sense that now on top of Venusaur, Frostlass and Lapras are also still going to be super effective up against that Zweilous. So it's kind of like a jump block sub in a way, but yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what they're going to bring in. So let's get into the battles. So into the round with Vespiquen, Lapras, and Frostlass. So bringing the double ice still, going strong with Vespiquen lead this time, and catches the Venusaur. So that's probably the best lead that it could have got. So was expecting a pretty quick switch out on the opponent's side. Staying in, so you're just going to go for the X-Scissor, figures, oh, Venusaur's not switching out, going to get some damage off, which is going to be very nice. Lands it, and then is Venusaur just charging up energy and going to switch? Nope, going to get Sludge Bomb off, I imagine, because that flying typing doesn't love Sludge. Yeah, Sludge. gonna get shielded up, and then switching out after that into Vespiquen. So has the double ice, so he's able to switch into the Frostlass. Originally I was like, oh, we can maybe get a power gem off here, but no, don't do that. You've got double ice in the back. So yeah, into the Frostlass, going for that avalanche, and the opponent, I'm assuming that was a shield visual glitch. I'm expecting to see one less shield on their side once that power gem comes through, and actually landing that power gem is pretty massive on the Frostlass, because it means that he's not going to be able to get to another avalanche, and really puts Team on the back foot here. So bringing the Lapras now, which also does not want to get hit by a power gem, and I'm kind of thinking this might be a bait, but Team reckons it's a power gem, and it actually is a power gem, so that is why Team is the one that has won the tournament and not me. You're going to Ice Shard all the way down, wouldn't be able to get to another power gem before Lapras took it out, and then Venusaur probably going to come back in now, actually bringing the Frostlass. I feel like that was a mistake on the opponent's part. I think Venusaur definitely would have been a better pick to bring in, especially because he had a little bit of energy ready to go. Yeah, it's not the best. And then Frostlass would have been better off up against the Vespiquen in the back. So maybe trying to get some energy on that Frostlass, but yeah, definitely not a great situation for the opponent. They definitely would have been in a much better spot if they brought in that Venusaur first. So in comes the Vespiquen now, and then going to be going straight, actually going for the Exeter, so trying to threaten that last shield off of the opponent. They know that they've got a lot of energy, but they didn't quite have enough of the power gem, do get the shield, and actually I didn't realise Frostlass was so low, so yeah, Exeter probably might take it out at this point. And the opponent's really trying to get some energy too. Yeah, Exeter does take it out, and that is GG's there. So I think that was a pretty close game. Definitely could have gone the other way if that Venusaur did come in. But going into battle numero uno, got Victreebel in the lead again, up and catching the Lapras. So I've seen before, this is a super tight matchup, but definitely a very interesting one. So gets the Lapras into the yellow, and then switches into the Frostlass. So with double ice, Lapras is definitely the pick to bring in here, because it's not going to be as weak to the Shadow Balls as the Frostlass would be, and that opposing Frostlass did have the energy advantage. Plus, Avalanche is basically to do nothing to Lapras, so forcing the Frostlass to go for the Shadow Ball. So kind of a lucky shield on that first one, or maybe just assuming that Frostlass isn't going to waste like 2 Powder Snows worth of chance to land a Shadow Ball instead of an Avalanche, but actually, never mind. Goes for that Avalanche before it goes down, but Team knows what's up, and in comes the Lapras Mirror. So probably going to go straight for the Skull Bat. Oh no, going for the Surf Bait. But unfortunately, CMP Tight goes in the opponent's favour, so we'll see what goes on here. It is the Skull Bash, gets the shield, and then going for a Surf, so I'm kind of expecting a shield might come up the other way to protect that Lapras. Shield does come up, fantastic. Going to farm up a little bit more energy, switch into the Victreebel, and go straight for that Leaf Blade, ready to take out that Lapras if the shield doesn't come up. I can speak. Lets the Lapras go down, which is definitely the right move on the opponent's part. And in comes Venusaur. So Venusaur is going to be able to farm up a lot of energy here. This is probably just a Frenzy Plant to take out the Victreebel. Yeah, Frenzy Plant just did not want to get hit by a charge move. Unfortunately, Frostlass in the back, which, if we can land an Avalanche, which is going to be a CMP tie, so Venusaur getting this Frenzy Plant off is pretty massive actually. Frenzy Plant comes through, this Avalanche is going to get off, going to burn that shield off of the Venusaur. Frostlass definitely is not going to be able to get another Avalanche off, so it's going to be up to Lapras to take out the rest of this Venusaur. And Lapras isn't too healthy, but does have a lot of energy, so gets one Surf off and is like an Ice Shard away from getting a second Surf off. Doesn't quite take out, oh man, 1 HP. And a dream. Venusaur getting that Frenzy Plant off and taking out the Lapras. That is absolutely insane. The Surf was totally ready there. So really tight in this round 2. We've got 1-1. And leading the Lapras into Mirror Lapras. So we'll see how it plays out. This is a very long and arduous matchup. So I'm kind of expecting this. We might see the timer come up at the end of this battle just by virtue of Lapras existing. So going straight for the Skull Bash. Looks like there was a little bit of desync there, but also I guess not, because the opponent got off the Skull Bash at the same time. So Skull Bash gets the shield off of this Lapras, and then going to throw a Skull Bash right back. See if we get a shield off of that now buffed up Lapras. No shield, so getting the Skull Bash off first is pretty huge in this matchup, because you do get that defense buff, whereas if you're the first one to be hit by it before you get one off, you're obviously going to be taking more damage. So this Skull Bash that we're getting hit with is actually going to be the same damage as that one that was sent over before. So going for the second Skull Bash now, we'll see if a shield does come up this time. No shield, so definitely, if you were going to shield at all in the mirror match, you would want to shield the first one, because the first one is going to do more damage before you do extra Skull Bashes. And then Team just going for the Surf here, knowing that it is going to take out the Lapras, but actually keeping that Lapras around with the shield, and then switching into Venusaur for the aggressive switch. Catching the charge move into Vespiquen, which is a fantastic move, plus a fantastic situation for Team to be in, with that switch locked Venusaur. Can able to farm a fair bit of energy, going straight for the Exeter, not playing around, does not want to get hit by a Sludge Bomb, although this won't take out the Venusaur quite. And then gonna get a charge move off of definitely a Sludge Bomb coming from this Venusaur. Just gonna tank it and then maybe Fury Cut it down. I'm not sure if that's really possible because the Frenzy Plant is definitely getting scary at this point. Is able to Fury Cut it down, so still a shield up on the opponent's side, so was going to go straight for the Power Gem by the looks of it, but Lapras comes in, throws that energy, gets the shield off the Vespiquen and going to get Fury Cutted down, and then I'm probably just going to go straight, going for the Power Gem, which is a little unfortunate up against the Umbreon, because that X's definitely would have been super effective, but yeah, you know, it's alright, because we've got Sudowoodo in the back, which is going to do tons of damage to this Umbreon, but first off, going to get this energy off from the Lapras, not giving Umbreon too much time to farm up energy, maybe catching a charge move into Lapras? Yeah, probably not, just going to snarl all the way down, but because he's snarling all the way down, Lapras getting another Surf off, pretty insane actually, really bring that Umbreon so low. Sudowoodo is really going to be able to clean this up well. Nothing that Umbreon's going to be able to do is going to take out the Sudowoodo, which means that Team takes round 2. So yeah, we'll just let the Umbreon, oh nope, getting all this energy off of the Umbreon onto the Sudowoodo. Dark Pulse, which does do a fair chunk more damage than the Foul Play, but Sudowoodo able to counter down with a shield left over. So going into round 3, up against Stephen Mont 14, and the audio quality may have just changed. I'm in a different spot recording audio. Let me know in the comments if this is better than the last one, or if the audio before was better. Not going to be able to change it once it's uploaded, but let me know in post. So we can maybe do something about the next video. But anyway, up against Stephen Mont 14, who's got Venusaur, Lapras, Snowy Castform, Umbreon, Sudowoodo, and Jumpluff. So not only a double ice, but a different double ice. But also double grass, so this double thing seems to be happening a lot. Actually, now that I think about it, there's only 5 typings, so obviously you're going to have a double of something. I guess you could have a different role though, like I wouldn't say Alolan Graveler and Pseudo. Okay, maybe I should have thought about it a bit more. You're going to have a double something, but this is a double, so the Lapras, Snowy Castform, as well as the Jumpluff Venusaur. So we'll see what team does with this one. Yeah. Alright, so Frostlass, Lapras, and Sudowoodo. So going in with double ice, putting one of the ices in the lead. And this is not a good lead for Frostlass at all. Lapras can just win straight Surf, basically, so, you know, Frostlass is going to be wanting to go to land for Shadow Balls, but Surf is just going to take down one is going to do it, to be clear. It's just straight Surf is going to take out Frostlass, so not shielding and then going straight for the Shadow Ball, so maybe trying to get some damage off onto the Lapras and then going down, yeah, so lands it, and then looking to switch out into Lapras, maybe trying to catch a shield, but catch a Surf, sorry, but didn't catch it. And in comes the Umbreon. So this is definitely going to be a battle of the bulk monsters, shielding for Foul Play, and then probably just going straight for the Skull Bash to bulk up that defense, just make Lapras even more of a tank. So Skull Bash through, see if it lands. It does land. So that's actually pretty solid for. Team is looking pretty good here with that buffed up Lapras. Although it does have to do with the Lapras in the back, but it's been weakened down a little bit by that Shadow Ball, and also Sudowoodo is around. So by winning switch advantage here, Team could be in a really good spot. So yeah, just going to tank these charge moves because Lapras is, I mean, it's got that defense buff. Like, what are you going to do? Is he going for another one? Going for another Skull Bash. So at this point, a Surf probably would be like a takedown move, but really just bulking up that Lapras insane. Probably, yeah, Lapras comes back in, so going for the Lapras Mirror. I'm not sure. I think a Skull Bash should probably take out the double debuff Lapras at this point, but just getting off this Surf because it knows it's going to do some damage. And this is, a Surf would not take out Lapras, a Skull Bash probably will. So it is a Skull Bash, taking out the Lapras, and then going to bring in Sudowoodo. Boom, 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 3 counters, down it goes. The opponent's still got 2 shields and Jumpluff in the back, so Frostlass coming in to tank that charge move, or maybe not trying to tank the charge move because burning a shield here. So it is an aerial ace, not an energy ball. Get this avalanche off. I'm actually wondering if this might go to the opponent's favour because our team needs to land 2 charge moves to burn the 2 shields, and then needs to get another charge move. And the opponent's just farmed up tons of energy on that Jumpluff, so probably going to take out with an aerial ace, and then going to have an energy ball ready to go onto that Sudowoodo. Getting the Rock Slide off, pretty close to another Rock Slide. I'm actually not sure why the opponent hasn't thrown an Energy Ball, because I think he's got one. This should be the Energy Ball, and this is like a wacky moveset jumper. It is an Energy Ball, and that will take out the Sudowoodo, and that is GG's there. So losing game 1, going with Vespiquen, Umbreon, and Lapras, so switching out of that double ice, because it didn't do him too well in that matchup. But Vespiquen up against Lapras, not a great matchup unless you can land a Power Gem, which doesn't actually change much, it's just nice to have. But we've now got the Umbreon Mirror, so this is gonna... We'll see if they stand the entire switch clock with the Umbreon Mirror. and we'll also see if someone tries to bait the other one with a foul play. I'm kind of expecting the straight last resorts because the risk reward isn't really worth it. Like, you know, it's a little bit more energy for a last resort, and it's so much more damage, so much more efficient to just go for the last resort. So I'll see if someone burns a shield when it gets too close, but the switch window is already kind of up. So definitely getting, I'm thinking that someone is going to switch out, and this match isn't going to play to its entirety, but getting another last resort. But man, last resort. I said it in like the last video or the video before, but I'm really struggling to say that last resort. They brought up the switch window. I'm not sure if they were preparing for a switch on the other team or if they were going for a switch themselves. But any last resort, and probably going to throw another one. I didn't actually quite catch how much health that Umbreon had. Is this going to take it out? Oh, well, not if a shield comes up, that's for sure. Team is probably going to let this go down, even though it could have shielded up and got another charge move off. It gets to that point where, survives. And does get a foul play off too, so that's going to put a lot of pressure onto the opponent to use a shield here. No shield, but the Umbreon does hang on. Maybe they were counting, maybe they just were like, no, I'm not going to burn 2 shields here and get a 2-0 shield disadvantage, sorry, but Vespiquen coming in, going to tank this foul play. And Fury cut it down, and then Lapras probably can come back in, but the shield situation is a little bit different now that Vespiquen has 2 shields and Lapras only has 1. So we'll see if the opponent is a little bit scared to use their last shield. Does let the power gem go through, so they definitely thought that was going to be a bait. Actually, they don't definitely know. I can't speak for them. They might have just known that Lapras can take one, and whatever they have in the back, they're looking much more forward to using a shield there. So going in for the X Scissor, which I think will take out Lapras at this point if it lands. Nope, never mind. Lapras had more health than I thought it did, and in comes Lapras. We'll see if this is a Skull Bash or a Surf. No shield, and it is a Surf, so just trying to get some energy off before going down. And in comes Jump Off in the back, so Ice Shard are going to do a lot of damage. Having the 2 shields is really important for the Lapras, and I'm kind of thinking that Team might be going for the Skull Bash here to get that defense buff. Shields up an Aerial Ace, and that's all. Actually, no, going for the Surf, so maybe trying to bait out that last shield. I mean, probably have to use it at this point, right? Yeah, uses the shield. Could actually, yeah, that Jump Off is actually getting really low with the Ice Shard, so Surf might be enough to take it out, even though it's got that Grass typing to resist it. Another Surf might do it, so shield up this Hope, maybe Energy Ball. Don't want to take the risk. And it is another Aerial Ace, so they're primed to maybe. Oh, never mind. That Jump Off went down pretty quick, and the timer did come up there with that bulk match of the Lapras, of the Umbreons, and then Lapras, also a bulk monster, but taking it down before that timer goes down. And that is GG. So we're actually 1-1 in this round. So getting the Vespiquen Lapras lead again, which is not great for Team. Switching into the Umbreon, and the opponent counter switching into that Umbreon, expecting Umbreon to be coming out. Or just, again, Umbreon being a fantastic safe switch in this cup. So going for the last resort. Yeah, they're going to land. I could probably speed this up more, but I did not pre-watch these videos. So if I'd known, maybe it would be worth like skipping ahead a bit. Or, yeah, I don't know. Or maybe if I was live streaming it, I could do like that. Tap, move ahead 10 seconds, but yeah, that's not gonna happen here, so we're just gonna hang out. How you doing? Having a good day? I don't know if it's morning or night when you're watching this, but good morning, good afternoon, or good night, the whole Truman thing. Yeah, this is gonna go for a bit. Maybe you can skip ahead if you want, actually. I'm not gonna say anything too groundbreaking if you want to skip ahead 15 seconds. But we'll see if they play it any different. If there's a switch, if there's just letting Umbreon go down to Umbreon. Landing last resort. Team's in a pretty good spot here. Could almost maybe go for a foul play here and try and get that shield. Does the shield come up though? Oh, shield does come up, so I guess Team didn't really need it though. Like getting 1 extra snarl wasn't really going to flip anything, so yeah, maybe not necessary, but lets him taken out. Again, keeping this 1-0 shield advantage, brings in the Vespiquen to Fury Cutter down, gonna get hit by a foul play just as it was before. So this is looking very similar, except for the fact that Vespiquen has way more energy. So in comes the Lapras, has tons of energy now, and going for the X is a bait. So I'll see if they do take it this time, and they do take the bait. That is fantastic for Team here, leading this Power Gem, looking really good at this point, because then going to be able to bring in Lapras for the mirror match. Yep, switching, catching this I'm assuming this is a Surf. Yep, Surf, fantastic for Team. In comes the Venusaur though, so that is actually not ideal. Going for the Surf just to chunk down that Venusaur, but actually with the two shield advantage, this could actually look pretty good for Team here. You're going to land the Surf, which is going to chip down the Venusaur, and then Ice Shard's doing tons. Vine Whip doesn't do too much, and then it'll more be about taking out the Lapras in the back. So probably just going to Ice Shard down and keep up, try and farm up to the Skull Bash. Oh no, going for the Surf. Actually, how much health did that Lapras have? Yeah, I think I would have preferred to go for the Skull Bash, just straight away, and then Burner Shield whenever charge moves coming through. But actually, it does get to the Skull Bash anyway. I guess there was also the option of switching to catch the charge move, and the opponent knew that they weren't going to get two things off, I suppose. But yeah, that is GG's, taking out round 3 and going into round 4. So up against Raghav. Anyway, with Sudowoodo, Lapras, Venusaur, Umbreon, Beedrill, and Victreebel. So, double grass this time, and having that Victreebel. So, Victreebel Mirror, maybe. I think Ice looks pretty good here. Or, I guess you're going to get hit by the Lapras, getting hit by the Sudowoodo. Umbreon isn't the best. Beedrill, Venusaur and Victreebel good. Let's just see what team brings in. And going in with Victreebel, Umbreon, and Vespiquen. So Victreebel up against Lapras, so definitely a good matchup in the lead. We've seen this matchup tons of times before in this video, and switching into the Venusaur, so it gives team the perfect chance to switch into Vespiquen. So I'm going to go for this X-Scissor, just going to chip down that Umbreon, chip down that Venusaur, just keep bringing it down, and then Fury Cutter all the way. Going to be able to tank a Sludge Bomb, so can decide to not shield. Doesn't really want the Vespiquen to come up against the Lapras afterwards anyway, so I think team would prefer to have Vespiquen at a lower, at a lower health when the Venusaur takes it out, when Vespiquen takes the Venusaur out. So maybe hoping this is a Frenzy Plant. It is a Sludge Bomb. It does take out the Venusaur with the slightest of health left. That is basically the perfect situation for team. That went as good as it could have. Doesn't quite get the X-Scissor off, but doesn't really matter because we're going to be able to bring the Victreebel back in and instant switch into Umbreon. So we've got an Umbreon Mirror where the opponent does have the advantage. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It means that Victreebel is going to be able to come in at the end, get a little bit of energy on the opposing Umbreon, I guess. But we'll just see how it plays out. Maybe Shields plays a little bit different, or someone tries to switch into a Pokemon to try and get some energy beforehand. We'll just sit through another mirror match. Again, you can skip ahead 20 seconds if you want. I don't think you're going to miss too much, but you never know. I haven't watched these videos in advance, so we'll see how we do. And by the way, if you are still watching at this point in the video, don't forget to, hit that like button. Yeah, YouTube algorithm stuff. Burning a shield on the last resort. We'll see if team decides to. Yep, team sends the shield right back. So keeping these Umbreons around. Happy to let Umbreon go down, I guess. Doesn't want to bring Victreebel in to get weakened by the Umbreon, I suppose. Wants to keep the Victreebel entirely for the Lapras as much as it can. Especially because Lapras does not have a big hitting charge move for the Victreebel, really. And switching into the Lapras, going for the foul play just to bring that Lapras down a little bit more to counteract some of that energy, because Victreebel Lapras is already a pretty close matchup, so by switching into Victreebel, it kind of just shores up that, by throwing the charge move before switching, it kind of just shores up that matchup. So burning a shield, it is a Surf, but it's going to be able to raise Leaf down, and then Umbreon will come in. Umbreon going to go straight for this Leaf Blade, just to burn that last shield off of the Umbreon, because it's forced to at this point. Forced to burn that shield, and then hoping to raise Leaf down. Doesn't quite. Maybe if he didn't go for the charge move, he might have got another Raise Leaf off. Take out the Umbreon. I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter because it does go down anyway. So going into game 2 with Vespiquen, Umbreon, and Victreebel in the back. So we're back in this Vespiquen versus Lapras matchup, which is not the best. Switching into Umbreon, hoping to maybe force a switch out so that Victreebel can land on it later. But looks like the opponent is either farming up tons of energy on that Lapras, or going for a Skull Bash. Or, yeah, okay, they let the charge move come through and then come in with the Venusaur. So this isn't a great matchup for the Umbreon. I didn't mention in that other video that Foul Play, Dark Pulse, Umbreon can win the Venusaur matchup, but it's not worth it. Keep life as well. So gonna just let the Frenzy Plant come through. Because really wants to bring that Vespiquen back in to take down this Venusaur. So just going to put a little bit of damage onto that Venusaur, because Sludge Bomb does hurt that Vespiquen. Definitely at Fury Cutter range now, how it can just Vespiquen can just come in and Fury Cutter down. So let's Umbreon go down. In comes Vespiquen, going to be able to Fury Cutter all the way, and then probably going to try and throw a Power Gem onto the Lapras. In comes the Lapras, who does have a little bit of energy. We'll see if this is a Skull Bash or not. It is a Surf, so just going to chunk down the Vespiquen a little bit, get to the Power Gem off, so we'll see if a shield does come up or not. No shield, switch into Victory Bell to try and catch the Surf, but the opponent knows, switches into Beedrill. Oh, this is not good for Team. Especially if, was that a Sludge Bomb or an Acid Spray? Is Victory Bell's other move? That is an Acid Spray, so I feel like it might have been better to go for the Acid Spray, maybe, although maybe the team was just making sure that he could get the charge move off before going down. But in comes the Vespiquen, the 2 shield advantage might be really necessary at this point. I think the play might be to shield up everything from Beedrill, try and Fury cut it down. Oh, no, not going to be able to Fury cut it down. Going to have to go for an X-Scissor. Unfortunately, CMP ties when he clicks the X-Scissor. Opponent gets an X-Scissor off first, forces Team to burn a shield, gets his X-Scissor off. And then I don't think he's going to quite have enough for a Power Gem to go into the Lapras, and there's still a shield in play. So yeah, this is GG's at this point. The only way that Team could have won there is if they decided to think it was a bait and he went for the Power Gem successfully. Yeah, just not much to be done. So Vespiquen up against Umbreon, now that it's 1-1, winning the lead is definitely a very nice touch. So charging up a whole lot of energy, maybe ready for a Lapras switch in, but yeah, just filling up extra and then throwing this X-Scissor, chunks down the Umbreon a little bit. We know the opponent liked to farm up energy at the start of that last match, so maybe they're trying to do the same here, farm up a ton of energy on that Umbreon and then switch out. Maybe, although the Umbreon is so low now. This should just be a foul play because it's a better move than Last Resort, which it is. And ooh, maybe they were going for the back-to-back, but unfortunately the game is playing as the game plays right now. So yeah, unfortunate for the opponent there because it did let our team get 2 extra Fury Cutters off. But that is how it goes now. So landing the X's, taking out the Umbreon, so just completely letting it go down. In comes the Lapras, going to be able to farm up energy. Does get an X-Scissor off, so I guess just some damage is better than no damage. Not going to be able to get to the Power Gem at all, and the opponent not threatened by it whatsoever. So it takes it down. In comes the Victory Bell, which is the opponent's nightmare. In comes Venusaur, which is kind of, it's not Team's nightmare, but it's not a great thing for him. Probably going to keep shields for the Lapras. Nope, burning 1 shield here on the Umbreon. So I guess the overall point was try and get rid of Venusaur as quick as possible so that Victory Bell doesn't really have to do it. Actually, did I say shield a Lapras before? That I meant Venusaur, but going for the foul play, just chunking down that Venusaur. Probably going to let the next Frenzy Plant come through. It's not going to take out Umbreon in this range because Umbreon is still going to shield though. What's the play? So I guess I guess this kind of works too. We'll see how it plays out. Go for the foul play, and then looking to switch to catch a Frenzy Plant, maybe? Nah. Just gonna let it come through. And then maybe switching into Victory Bell after that. Nope, not yet. Oh, that's a great catch on the opponent's part. Catching the foul play into the Lapras. Yeah, well played. In comes the Victory Bell, and catching the Surf on the Victory Bell. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Like on the Lapras's part, if he was like throwing the Surf for the Umbreon or for the Victory Bell, but gets this Leaf Blade off, which should take out the Venusaur at this point, even having the Grass Poison typing. Does take it out, and that is GG's, and that was a close one. So going into round 5 up against Manaholics, we've got Venusaur, Lapras, Sudowoodo, Vespiquen, Alolan Graveler, and Cradilly. So Cradilly is not one we've seen yet, and does bring that double grass in again, which is definitely, I was going to say definitely good for the double ice, but again, Lapras kind of weak to that grass type, and actually double weak to that Cradilly because it's also got the rock type. So no matter what Cradilly's throwing, Lapras does not want to catch it. So let's get into the battles. So Victory Bell, Frostlass, and Vespiquen, we'll see that Victory Bell lead, catch the Venusaur. Not the best for Victory Bell, I wouldn't say. Maybe catch the Venusaur is the wrong word, or I guess, you know, you say catch COVID. That's not a good thing. Yeah, catch the Venusaur. So switching to Frostlass, which is not a great position for Frostlass to be in. Maybe trying to force the switch from the Venusaur because, yeah, as I said earlier in this video at some point, the Frostlass vs Venusaur matchup is a like tie on PvP Poke. So like either one could win really. So it's not great to come into this matchup when Venusaur has the energy advantage. So burning both shields to keep this Frostlass around. I guess hoping that Venusaur is going to not burn, not going to burn this shield, and then try and play out of that last shield deficit bit. Oh, what? Sorry, what? That was a brilliant catch into the Lapras, which I did not notice. And unfortunately, Team is not able to switch out in time to catch the Surf, which takes out the Frostlass, which is just heartbreaking because had the energy, could have thrown it, could have burnt that shield off the Lapras, and now getting another Surf onto this Victory Bell. Unfortunately, this game just really has not gone in Team's favour at all, which, yeah, the opponents just kind of played all around. And then in comes the Vespiquen. This Leaf Blade is not going to do much of the Vespiquen with that bug and flying typing. You know, maybe Lag's even going to make it do 0 damage just for bonus marks, but yeah, unfortunately, it's a GG to this point. The opposing Vespiquen is going to get a Power Gem off. Team's going to go straight for the Power Gem, knowing that it's kind of the only win condition, going for the Power Gem and having it not be shielded. But and switching out into the Venusaur, catching the Power Gem, unreal. That's just well played on the opponent's part, really well played. And then still has a shield in tow, just going to be able to go straight for the X's to take him out. But the opponent probably going to burn a shield, even though they don't have to. Yeah, burns the shield, knowing that the next is actually just going to Fury Cut it down. They definitely could. Oh no, there's still. How did I miss the fact that Victory Bell was still around? Yeah, this Xizar is going to finish off the game, and that was a really hard press game for Team. It just did not go in his way. So Umbreon, Frostlass, and Lapras are going back to the double ice. Umbreon versus Venusaur, not the best lead. Again, going to be losing to that Venusaur, but it's not the hardest loss in the world. Umbreon's losses are never hard losses. Although Venusaur is the one that has the best win against Umbreon in the one shield, so that's something I guess. It's still like on PvPoke, the rating's in the 300s, I'm pretty sure. So it's still not the best for the Venusaur. But switching out into Lapras, which is interesting. Maybe trying to catch that energy off of the Umbreon and then thinking that Team might not bring Victory Bell this time, maybe. Or trying to bait out the Victory Bell, perhaps. But just a Team unloading this energy onto the Lapras, chunking it down, and then probably going to try and catch a Surf onto Lapras, as he's done a bit in this video already. Looks like he's going to go for Foul Play though. We'll see if this charge move changes things. Shield up the Surf, probably expecting that to be a Skull Bash. Getting another charge move already, probably just another Surf, but no shields left, so not much to do. Gets the Foul Play off though, so it was a CMP tie. And doesn't quite take out the Lapras, but one more Foul Play, which... CMP die in Lapras' favour. Darn. Ouch, is all I can say. Oh, no, Umbreon survives. Get this Foul Play off, so I cannot imagine the opponent shielding here. Yeah, no shield, because there is not much to preserve, although I guess could have tried to win switch advantage and still had 2 shields, but I guess the 2 shield advantage is enough for them to be happy at this point. So, in comes the Frostlass. It's really unfortunate because that Power Gem is going to do so much damage to both Frostlass and Lapras. So we'll see what Team does to try and play out of this one. Maybe try and catch... Oh, does. This is definitely going to be a Power Gem because there's no reason for the opponent to bait. Lands the Power Gem. He's going to be able to get to... No, X-Scissor would come through beforehand. And in comes the Venusaur, who had enough energy to get the Frenzy Plant off before the Avalanche comes off. Oh man, that hurts. So Frenzy Plant comes through. In comes the Lapras, and he's going to be able to get to a Frenzy Plant before Lapras can take it out. And this is going to be GG's on the round. So I would have had it in the title, but I didn't actually mention it at the start of the video. This was a 5-1 run. It was an equal first tournament, so no one went 6-0. So this is going to be the one round that Team does lose. And I do think looking at losses is an important thing. It's like not every team is perfect, not every player is perfect. Like you can kind of look back at the matches that you lose and can learn from them, I think. So Frostlass up against Lapras, switching out to the Victory Bell after getting a little bit of energy on that on the Frostlass, and we do see the Cradily. So I was kind of hopeful that we would see it, but I don't really think this is the best spot for Cradily to be in. Maybe they really weren't expecting the Victory Bell to make another appearance, but unless lands an Ancient Power or something. Oh, Stone Edge. But yeah, shielding that up, going to be able to raise Leaf down. So that's definitely looking good for Team. In comes Vespiquen though. So I'm not sure if they were... Actually, how did this switch go? Frostlass switch up. I'm not sure if it was an intentional switch into Cradily now. I feel like Vespiquen would have been a better switch. But going for that Acid Spray, probably not going to get a... Actually, maybe get a shield. Maybe threaten the Sludge Bomb. No shield, but Acid Spray is definitely nice to have thrown onto that Vespiquen. Because Frostlass is going to have a little bit of a better time as long as it doesn't get hit by a Power Gem. Although Power Gem not going to take it out. It is that Power Gem though, but yeah. Here comes the Lapras throwing the energy. The Manahonix? Sorry, I've forgotten his name. It started with an M, I'm pretty sure, but that they're doing really well with the energy. The switches, just keeping enough energy to really threaten, like, with any appearance. Just really on top of their game at this point. And going for the Foul Play here. Similar to the last game, just chunking down the Lapras. The Lapras does still have a shield at this point, so that's something to watch out for. Maybe try and burn off. Probably going to go straight for the Skull Bash on Lapras' end, get the defense buff, do a whole lot of damage. Get that Skull Bash. Defense buffed. So going for this foul play now. And now to the point that if Lapras is going to burn a shield at all, it would have been better off shielding the first charge move because you're shielding more damage than shielding a charge move after you've used a Skull Bash. But at this point the Lapras is really low, so I might just let it go down. Yeah, lets it go. And then in comes the Vespiquen. Was going to farm up energy on that Umbreon, but switching into the Frostlass. Unfortunately, the opponent still has a shield. This Avalanche is going to get the shield, and then Vespiquen is going to be able to get a Power Gem onto this, or trying to get an X-Scissor as well. Trying to get a Power Gem plus X-Scissor sort of energy level. But going for the Power Gem now, takes out the Frostlass, and then just needs to get, or maybe could Fury cut it down. I wouldn't want to risk it though, so yeah, X-Scissor, going to take out the Umbreon, and that is GG's there. So that is the one loss of the video, one loss of the tournament, and let's get into round 6. And going into the last round, up against Sodium Hue with Venusaur, Vespiquen, Lapras, Sudowoodo, Umbreon, and Frostlass. So, kind of your standard meta team, really, going for that double ice too. So, almost identical to Team's team, except for the fact that it's got Venusaur instead of Victreebel, which does, obviously wins that grass mirror match. But, yeah, let's just jump into it. So, we've got Victreebel, Lapras, and Vespiquen here. Victreebel up against Sudowoodo, so fantastic lead here, and I don't think we've seen this one yet, but yeah, that's absolutely fantastic for Team. Switching to Lapras too, so this is definitely a better matchup to keep Victreebel in. I kind of feel like maybe you can switch Lapras in, keep Victreebel for the Sudowoodo after, maybe that's the play, but we'll see what Team does with it. So Raise Leaf all the way down, in comes that Venusaur, so going straight for the Acid Spray, hopefully grabbing a shield here. Gets a shield off of that Venusaur, which is definitely fantastic. Switching to Vespiquen because the opponent is still going to be switched off for a little bit. I don't think the time has come up on their end yet. So landing the X-Scissor onto the Venusaur, or getting the shield. Another burp. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't done. More burp. Sorry, team. Yeah, shield up the Sludge Bomb and then switching out to the Sudowoodo. So just going to go for the X-Scissor to try and get a little bit of stab damage onto the Sudowoodo. Just take down a little bit. We're going to get hit by a Rock Slide, but it's not going to be the end of the world. Getting another X-Scissor though, so I think Sudowoodo is over farming here. Getting a fair chunk of energy. Oh, though it's good and so low now. Yikes. Maybe just wanted to get low so that Victreebel couldn't get much energy on it, but lands the Rock Slide, take out the Vespiquen. Actually did have enough energy for 2 Rock Slides, so lands one onto the Lapras. Going to be able to Ice Shard down, and then in will come back to the Venusaur, and just going straight for the Surf, trying to chunk down some health off of that Venusaur. Although Venusaur does have a fair bit of energy now, so probably going to switch out instantly into the Victreebel. Oh, the opponent going for the charge move, so I guess really didn't want to get hit by the Ice Shards, so going for the Frenzy Plant, and then in comes the... Oh, this is going to be close. Oh, I think Venusaur might have it. Oh, Victreebel Raise Leafs down. Oh, I called it too early. Fantastic. What a finish. Now, Vespiquen up against Frostlass. Not a good matchup for Vespiquen, so switching into the Lapras. Obviously has a better time here. Going for that Surf, but unfortunately the Frostlass does get that charge move off first. Doesn't really matter if it's a Shadow Ball, because Lapras is going to be able to tank it. And yeah, as I was saying earlier, with the Lapras beating the Frostlass to straight Surf, you can get shield baited too. It doesn't really matter, just burning one shield and you're good. But in comes the Lapras, so going straight for the Skull Bash. I was wondering if the opponent might go for a Surf, but Surf definitely would not have been enough to take out the Lapras. So going for the Skull Bash does tons of damage onto that other opposing Lapras, gets the defense buff, and then we'll see what comes through here. It is the other Skull Bash, so in comes the Victreebel, going to be able to tank down that take down the Lapras before a charge move comes through, and then in will come that Venusaur. They know that there's no Sludge Bomb now, so there's no reason that they would shield. So switching straight away into the Vespiquen, shielding up here, so just doesn't want to get chunked down on that Vespiquen, keep it a little bit more healthy. Unfortunately, gets this X's off as the Frostlass is coming in, so didn't land it on the Venusaur. Does take down the Frostlass a little bit, and maybe another X's isn't going to do it, but it's definitely getting that Frostlass closer to the KO zone. Gets the shield off of the Frostlass, which is definitely nice. I don't know what you do here. Yeah, I guess shielding is I would probably shield in that instance, and then going to go for another Exeter, just chunk down that Frost Dust a little bit more. Misses a bubble, but that's all good. Burns the last shield off of the Frost Dust's end, brings in Victory Belt, Raise Leaf down, get the Acid Spray onto that Venusaur as soon as possible. Going to do extra damage with these Razor Leafs as well as the Powder Snows. Unfortunately, a charge, farming up a lot of energy here. Didn't want to get hit by a Leaf Blade, so Sodium Hue throwing the Frenzy Plant. Going to take out the Victory Belt. In comes the Vespiquen. I think I was talking about it as if it was a Frost Dust before. In comes the Vespiquen. If it survives this, it wins. It is a Sludge Bomb. It does survive, and it does get the X-Scissor off, which is going to take out Sodium Hue, and that will be GG's. What a finish. So some awesome gameplay from Team through this entire tournament. The last opponent in that round 6 did forfeit the last game, so that's why there are only 2 battles. But rocking that double ice, the Lapras and Frostlass, doing really well using both, and using them both in the same line of 3 did really well. So Team did want to shout out Maroon 6 and Team East Caliber for helping with the kind of practice battles, prepping him for the tournament basically. Maroon 6, love that guy. We were in the same Season 1 Go Stadium lobby, I'm pretty sure. I think it was it must have been Season 1. So yeah, you know, we go way back, like a year. So, a year and a bit. So yeah, shout out to those two, Maroon 6 and the team. And yeah, Team, fantastic effort. Congratulations. And funnily enough, that tournament that I mentioned that I was going to be shoutcasting in the next couple of days, that is another one of the 5-1 winners from the tournament. So you'll have to guess who it is. Also that says it, but whatever. So anyway, yeah, thank you to Team for sharing the footage with us. And yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially that subscribe one. Thank you to my patrons, Militon9458, brajSF, -Ben10, Not Newman, Yahwertle and SqeakyNL for supporting the channel. This has been a super long video, and if you're still watching this point, thank you for hanging out, and I hope it could help a little bit. So yeah, I will catch you in the next Catacomb Cup shoutcast. Unless like some PvP world crushing event happens and some video takes precedence. But unless that happens, see you in the next Catacomb Cup shoutcast with a different team. Bye.